So this happened a few weeks ago. I reached out to a creator. She does product reviews, right? I actually watched one of her videos and I saw her call out products by name, all right? Saying they are bad. Don't buy this, don't buy that. And all I'm thinking is, girl, do you know how much trouble you're in right now? Because here is the thing. A lawsuit can destroy your YouTube channel. I'm not talking about YouTube banning you. I'm talking about something way worse. I'm talking about legal battles that drain your time, your money, your mental health, and suddenly you can't even think of making content anymore. Today, I'm going to tell you exactly how this works. I'm going to show you real stories and give you 3 things you need to do right now if you make any kind of review content, because your channel is only as safe as the decisions you make off camera. Hello and welcome. I'm Roque, and this is where we talk about real YouTube growth, not just views and subscribers, but how to build a channel that lasts, how to protect it, how to make sure you're not setting up yourself for heartbreak 6 months from now. So if you make review videos, critique videos, or you talk about products, services, or anything where you potentially offend a company, this one is for you. So stick around till the end because you're going to learn a lot. So here is what I see happening all the time. A creator finds a product that they don't like. Maybe it had bad quality, or maybe it gave them a reaction, or maybe it doesn't work as it was advertised. And they think, you know what? I'm just going to make a video about it. I'm going to tell people the truth. I'm going to call out the brand name, show the packaging, and maybe even show the logo. Because that's what being honest looks like, right? Wrong. What actually happens is that the manufacturer sees the video. They see their brand getting dragged publicly. Their sales drop. And now they are angry. And instead of just moving on, they contact a lawyer and suddenly you are not a content creator anymore. Instead, you are a defendant in a lawsuit. Now, in this country, this is very real. I've seen it happen, and I'm sure you have seen it too. A woman made a video reviewing a loaf of bread. She didn't even call out the bakery by name. She just said the bread lasted some months on her shelf without going bad, which is suspicious, right? That one video led to some millions of naira in lawsuits. The content creator spent some time in detention and she's still fighting that case right now. Another woman reviewed tomato paste. That one called the brand and showed the packaging, and the company engaged her in legal battle. That was about 2 years ago. She's still in that problem as I speak to you. So when I tell you this is serious, I'm not exaggerating. Recently, I saw a video on one of these social media platforms. In it, a woman was crying. She was crying that strange things have been happening to people that are close to her just because she called out a book publisher online for making books that are inappropriate for 5-year-olds. Now you might be thinking, but I'm just trying to help people. I'm just being honest. And I get that. I really do. But here's what happens when you get into legal battle with a company or with a manufacturer. First, you are stressed. You can't think about content creation anymore. You are on the phone with lawyers. You are gathering evidence. You are spending money, thousands of naira, maybe more, on legal fees. Your mental health takes a hit. Secondly, while you are dealing with all that, your channel is suffering. You are not uploading content anymore. Your audience thinks you have disappeared. The algorithm forgets about you and growth, your channel's growth stops. Thirdly, and this is very important, even if you win the case, the damage is done. You have lost time. You have lost money and energy that you could have spent building your channel into something real. And honestly, Sometimes you don't even need YouTube to ban you for your channel to die. A lawsuit can make that happen even faster. So this isn't just about staying out of trouble. It's about protecting your livelihood. It's about making sure that 5 years from now, you are still able to create content, still able to make money, and still able to do what you love to do. That's why we are talking about this today. All right, so here's the first thing you need to do. If you're going to make a negative review, and look, review content is legit. People need honest feedback. So if you need to make a negative review, don't call out the product by name. Don't show packaging. Don't make it about that specific brand. Instead, make it about the problem. Let me give you an example. A few weeks ago, I was talking to this YouTuber, the one I mentioned at the beginning of this video. She does body care product reviews. And I told her, instead of saying, don't buy this brand of cream because it has maybe hydroquinone, which could get you sued, say something like, any skincare product that contains hydroquinone is risky. Here is why, and here is what you should look out for when you are buying skincare products. Do you see the difference? In the first one, you are attacking a specific company or manufacturer. In the second one, you are educating your audience. You are teaching them how to read ingredients. You are showing them what to avoid. And you are doing it in a way that's safe for both you and your channel. No brand can sue you for saying hydroquinone is bad for your skin. That's not defamation, that's education. But if you say brand X cream has hydroquinone and can ruin your skin, now you're making a specific claim about a specific product. And if they can prove you wrong, or if they can prove you didn't do enough research, then you're liable. So shift the focus. Make it about the ingredients, the components. Make it about practices. Make it about what to look out for and what to avoid. That way you are protecting your channel and you are helping your audience way more than you would by just calling out one blind. That's strategy number one. Strategy number two, and this one is one that can actually save you from lawsuit, is to contact the company before you go public. I know it sounds crazy, right? Why would you want to warn a company that you are about to critique them? But stay with me. Here's what you do. You find the manufacturer's contact information, their email, their phone number, their website, and you send them a message. Make it professional, polite, not angry. You say something like, hello, I noticed an issue with your product. I found so and so problem with it. I'm reaching out in good faith because I want to give you a chance to respond or clarify before I make this public. Here is what I observe. You go ahead and list them out. Now, a few things can happen when you use this approach. Either they respond and explain themselves, or they acknowledge the issue and fix it. In which case, do you even need to make a negative video anymore? Maybe not, because the crisis would have been averted, right? And this is important. If they don't respond, if they get defensive, if they ignore you, then you have documentation. You have proof that you tried to do the right thing. You reached out in good faith, and then you can make your video. And you can say, I contacted the company and here's what happened. Or I gave them a chance to respond and they didn't. That should be able to protect you to an extent legally. See, a lawyer will tell you good faith communication before public criticism is your best defense. It shows you weren't trying to trash the manufacturer. You were actually trying to help. You were being reasonable. So before you hit publish on a negative review video, ask yourself, did I reach out to them in the first place? If the answer is no, please don't post it yet. Strategy number 3 is to use the right channel to lodge your complaint. This one is situational, but really important. Here's what I mean. If you had a bad experience with a service, or if you got a defective product, or if you found something wrong, sometimes the right move isn't to make a video at all. Sometimes it's to go through the right channels. For example, if you are in school or your kids are in school, like one of the cases I mentioned earlier, and you find a textbook that you think is inappropriate for your kids, you don't just go on TikTok or Facebook or here on YouTube and last the publisher. No, you go to the school. After all, it was the school that recommended the book in the first place, right? So you go to the school, you talk to the principal or the head of studies, whoever is at the helm of affairs in the school. You make your complaint officially and you let the school handle it. The school has a relationship with the publisher. They can push back. They can demand changes. And that way, you are not the face of the controversy. Same thing with services. If a company gave you bad service, contact their customer service. Escalate if you need to. Document everything. And only if they ignore you, only then should you think about going public. Because here is the thing. When you go to social media first, you are putting yourself on the front lines. You are the one making the accusations publicly. You're the one with the face and your channel is attached to it. And if that company decides to fight back, you are the target. But if you go through the proper channels first, if you document that you tried the right way, that makes you harder to sue. It makes you look reasonable. It makes you look professional. So ask yourself, is social media really the right place for this complaint? Or should I be going to the company directly, or to an authority, or to someone with actual power to make a change? You see, most of the time, the answer is no. Social media should be your last resort, not your first. I'll say it again, social media should be your last resort and not your first. So here is why I'm telling you this. Your YouTube channel, your Facebook account, your TikTok or your Instagram account, all of it, that's your livelihood and you need to protect it. YouTube isn't the only thing that can delete your channel. A lawsuit actually can. A legal battle can. Bad decisions off camera can. The YouTuber I talked about that reviews body care products, thank God she heard what I was saying to her because I reached out to her. I talked to her. All this I'm telling you now, I said to her. And immediately, the same day, she made that video private. And you know what? Her channel is going to remain protected. And going forward, when she makes reviews, she's going to be doing it from a place of knowledge and caution. That way, she's protecting herself and she's actually helping her audience more. So if you make review content, if you critique products or services, if there's any chance you could upset a company or a person, please take this seriously. Think before you post. Reach out to the company first. Focus on the problem and not the brand. Use the right channels. Your channel will thank you for it. All right, that's it for today. If this helped you, please drop a like. It helps me know this content is actually useful. And if you know a creator who needs to hear this, please send it to them. Seriously, share it. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, because every week we are talking about how to build a YouTube channel that's not just big but safe. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.